Hi everyone, this is Rachel with Rachel's Wig Reform. I'm back again today with Raquel Welch's brand new wig, Current Events. I just reviewed this wig yesterday and everybody took notice. On my Facebook page, I have a private messenger option at Rachel's Wig Reform. I received a lot of messages yesterday asking if I would do a follow-up with all of the modifications that I did eventually do to her. And so I thought, of course I will. If that's what you want, let's go ahead and do it. So I have her on right now, and I'm going to start with the fact that I did take just that little bit of a point off on the sides. This was coming like almost like across my neck, and now it's more back over here. And you can see I still have a slight angle on it still, but it just doesn't have that extreme point like it did yesterday. And I did that on both sides. So if I do wear this side down, the points are more like here versus like almost touching each other like they were yesterday. So that was one of the changes that I made. The other thing that I did with this is up here at the top, it felt really thick and kind of heavy. And so I did thin it out, and I'll show you exactly how I did it. I'm not going to do any more to it because it doesn't need any more up there. But what I did is I just took a chunk of hair up, and there are still some pieces that are falling out of this because I thinned it yesterday. And then I took my thinning shears and I went right into the root. Like I went right in like that, and I just gave it a little pulse. Not anything extreme. And then I did the same every spot that it felt kind of thick. I would just lift up another piece, and I'd go in right here at the root area and give it a little pulse. And then I just combed that extra thickness out of it. And then it wasn't so heavy there up at the top. And then I did pluck in a little bit of a part. And let me tell you something about this wig. I've never had such trouble plucking apart. This took forever, and it's still not opened up exactly the way I want it to be. So I'm going to work on it a little bit more today. Another thing that I did, and I'm going to get up close here. Can you see all those little baby hairs right there sticking out? Those hairs yesterday were all those little pieces that want to fall in my face. You know those pieces that you want to lose your mind with when they're constantly just falling in your face? I don't allow that to happen. I make good use of them. So what I do is oh, look at, here's a few more. Let's get my scissors. Just had my scissors here. I had everything laid out. Where in holy heck did my scissors go? Like I had everything laid out like I was about to do surgery here, and now they're gone. But okay, I'll just grab these scissors. These aren't my favorite ones, but they'll do the work. So see these little pieces right here? Again, those are those ones that will sit there right in your face. Not on my wigs, they won't. I'm just going to take it, and I'm just going to kind of cut them like that. And I'm going to add those to those little baby hairs there. So then when you pull this part of your hair back, it just has that little almost messy hairline like so many of us have with natural bio hair. So that is how I got those. Another way that you can do it is you can take your clip, just kind of clip your bangs back, and then I take a spoolie. I'm sorry I'm so close to you here, but I have to. I take this spoolie and I just kind of do this, and I see there's a piece that's going to come down right there, and I'll just kind of pull some pieces out of here. Very, very random pieces. And the spoolie is just grabbing little tiny strands. And I'll talk about why I cut the lace here in just a second. But see how I'm just pulling down those little tiny pieces of hair right there? Then what I'll do is I will take my scissors and I'll go in and I will cut them about right there. You can always cut them off a little bit shorter if you want to. And then what I'm starting to do is create that little bit of baby hair up there across the hairline to make it look more natural. Now, I cut the lace back on my wigs. The other thing that I do after I cut my lace back is I cut up into this part of the lace also, into my part. I make this like little triangle. I don't know if it comes through there, but I cut that lace right out. The reason why I do that is because when that piece of lace is just laying there on my makeup, it's picking up the makeup all day long, and then it actually starts to expose that piece of lace more. It makes it look dirty and kind of thick in that area, and it sort of draws your attention there. So I don't like lace touching the areas where my makeup is, because it does pick up the makeup and I think it exposes it more. So I cut my lace right back to my hairline. Now, see these pieces right in here? These are all these little pieces that I love to turn into baby hairs. So here I go again. And you might think, oh my gosh, is this ruining your wig? No, it's not. Still tons of hair here. But what it's doing is it's just kind of blending in that hairline more. See how that looks? See, here's almost every single day, I will cut a few pieces of baby hairs in. Like literally every time I put my wig on, if there's like these few little strands that come in, and I'll cut these just a smidge shorter. Of course, can't see it completely, trying to do it through here. But now it looks like it just, my lace is starting right at the hairline. I don't have any lace like down into here where there's no fibers attached to it. Because again, that starts to pick up my makeup and I think it exposes it even more. So that is why I cut my lace back, but then I go in and I pull those baby pieces down to help with making it look more like a hairline in there. So I hope that makes sense. The other thing that I'm going to do for you right here is this part is still, it's a little thick right here for me. And because it's thick right there, what that's going to do is that weight is going to just pull itself naturally back across my face. And I don't want that. I want it to stay away from my face. But as long as it's too heavy, it will continue to do that. So what most people think is that they need to put layers or something into here. And that's not necessarily the case. You just need to thin it out a little bit. So what I'll do, and I'll show you how I'm going to do it right here, because I did most of the hard part yesterday. So I'm just going to take it. And remember, when I showed you, it was this piece down in here that felt heavy. So I'm just going to take my thinning shears and go in and just kind of notch a little bit out in there. Nothing major, okay? I'm really not even closing those scissors. And then I'll just take a little bit at a time, take a look at it, see what it's doing, and it's still just a little heavy right in here. So I'm going to grab my thinning shears and just snatch a couple little pieces out of there. And I will just continue to do that until it's doing what I want it to do. And you can see it's not as thick anymore as what it was. I mean, I can at least, and and I can also feel it. Now this wig's a little heavier across the back here, but you know what? I'm not thinning that out. I like that because I like the way that heaviness takes it down and just kind of settles into the back. I'll show you here. I like that. And I haven't thinned out anything on this side either because I will put this hair behind my ear. So I'm just going to pull this up one more time and do a couple more little notches out of it. So you can see. See, that doesn't do, some people think that it's going to destroy the look of the wig and the way it lays. You can't even tell where I notched that out in there. It looks the same. But now it is getting to be a little thinner, and it's just going to lay and stay away from my face just a little bit more. And that's what I want it to do. Now, the other thing that I'm going to do with this wig is I'm going to use my hot air brush. I kind of demoed this yesterday, but can you see how me plucking this right here, how this is staying over way better than what it was yesterday when I first put it on. So I'm going to take my hot air brush and I'm going to hit it again with some heat. Then I'm going to touch it with some cold air. It just makes the process go a little faster. And see how that's lifting that and giving you some lift over in there. And then it's helping it stay out of my face a little bit more. And almost every single time I'll put this wig on, I will do this with this airbrush to make that, give it just a little bit of lift. Now the other thing I'll do is, because this right here wants to kind of fall forward, I'm going to take this and I'm going to hit it with heat too. Now, I do this with non-heat defiant wigs also, because this is not hot, like curling iron hot. This is different. It's a different type of heat. I'm going to hit it with some cold. And then what that does is that's lifting this heaviness kind of back away from my face also by touching that right there. I don't know if you can see the difference from when I first put this on to now, but I have more lift here, and this is being trained to stay back. So I'm going to show you that one more time. And here's the thing. I do this on my synthetic wigs also that are not heat defiant. This is not the same as hitting it with a curling iron or a flat iron. This is more of like just air, and it's not extremely hot, and I'm not just holding it in one spot. So I'm just taking it. And these are the things you got to do to help train your wigs. I'll hit it with some cold air. If you don't hit it with cold air, you want it to at least cool before you let it fall back. Else otherwise you're not getting anything from it. Okay, and see what that does? Now I'm ready to go for the day. And then I'll take just a little bit of hairspray. You know, here it is. I love this Brandywine Spritz hairspray, and just kind of hit it up in there. Hit it here. I'm not going to put anything down in here. And then after I touch it with some hairspray, I will even hit it with just a little bit. Okay, and the other thing that I will do too is I will pull this back, spray that, hit it with a little bit of air. And when I hit it with some air, I don't care if it's hot or cold. I'm just kind of drying that hairspray. And there, I'm ready to go. And I'm actually gonna go someplace today. I want to thank you for all of your inbox messages that I received. It has helped me so much, and knowing what you're looking for in my videos and what sort of feedback I can give you. One of the things that was said to me was, all of the things that I do to my wigs compromises like how long they're going to last. Listen, I can't disagree with that in any way, shape, or form. Here's my take on it. If I have a wig that will last maybe 5 months, let's say, with these synthetic wigs, and I don't do any modifications to it, and it lasts me 5 months, but I'm frustrated with it, I feel uncomfortable in it when I wear it, 5 months is worthless to me. I would rather do these modifications and these little things to it each time I wear it and have it last 3.5 months and have a wig that I enjoy wearing versus 5 months of miserableness, I guess is the best way I can explain it. So are all of my things and little tricks and stuff up everybody's alley? No, they're not. But can they help? Yes, they can. And it's all a decision. It's up to you whether you want to do it to your wig or not. So my husband always says to me, he can tell when I'm comfortable in a wig because I'm not fiddling with it all day long. Sometimes when we're in the car going places and I haven't done all the things I really want to a wig, he's like, you're driving me nuts because you're just touching that wig and moving it all around. And I'm like, I know, I didn't do the stuff I wanted to do to it. And he's like, would you please do it because you're making me lose my mind. And I'm like, well, you know what? You're on my nerves too. So let's just stop the conversation. But he's right though. Even though I didn't like hearing it, he's right. To me, do the things you need to do to your wig to make you feel amazing when you walk out of your house that day. And if it kind of compromises how long you will have that wig for, it's, I guess, pick your battles is the best way I can explain it. So my YouTube channel is about giving you these little tricks and ideas. You know, some people are like, you should not be cutting that lace. Well, that's fine. But for me to feel comfortable, that's what I want to do. So again, it's personal choices and how we want to feel in our wigs and the things we want to do to it. Here's your follow-up on current events by Raquel Welch. And I hope this video helped, and we'll talk with you soon.